Hello, welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, welcome. For those of you who have, I have a lot of subscribers that subscribed originally because I had a lot of true ghost stories, and so I promised I would do some more. I'm one of those sensitive people that can see or hear ghosts. So look at me, I know. It's but everything, I don't make anything of, I don't make any of this up. These are all things that actually happened to me or my family. All of my family are a little off kilter, so we pick up on those things, and I move around a lot, so chances are, you know, it's one of those, even a blind squirrel is going to find a nut every once in a while. But with the number of times I've moved, I've gathered a lot of nuts, and people call me nuts. So today I am going to talk about two instances that happened when my family and I lived in San Antonio. I already told a story with the theater ghost, the Harlequin dinner theater ghost. So if you haven't, check that one out. That was one of my most whoa ones. But anyways, these happened in San Antonio. One of them is the house that we just had moved into, and it was after I had moved out. So this is what my mom and my sister had experienced. But it was a newer home. I mean, you know, it wasn't like 1800s. We have battlefields in the backyard or anything. It was just an ordinary house. My mom had come up to put laundry away or whatever, and noticed my sister's television was on. And she called my sister and says, "Don't leave your television on. It's a lot of electricity, and if you're not going to watch it, I don't want to hear it while I'm up here cleaning and everything." And she's like, "Mom, I didn't do it." And she's like, "Well, just turn it off." So my sister goes off, turns it off and whatever, and goes about their day. A while later, my mom's upstairs again. She's like gotten out of the shower or something, and she walks past my sister's room, and the TV is on again. And she calls my sister again and says, "I told you, if you're not going to watch your television, to turn it off." And she's like, "Mom, I didn't." And so she went over to see if the knob was tight or whatever. She's like, "And if I would first have to plug it in." And she holds up the cord, and the cord is completely not attached to the wall. It's not plugged in at all, but the TV is still so. And later on, sometime later, it's not like later that day, just sometime later this happened. My mom was in her bedroom. It was one of those weird bedrooms that the sinks are outside the bathroom area, so it's like really inside the bedroom. It's like this L-shaped, and then you have a water closet with a tub and a shower or toilet or whatever. And my mom was doing her hair, and the on the side is where the light switch is. And my sister was sitting on the bed talking to my mom, and the light goes out. And they both just kind of stop and go, "Well, that was weird." And my mom goes over and she flips the light on, and she goes back to doing her hair, and they go back to chit-chit-chit-chit. And the light flickers and they look towards the switch and it goes click. So my mom's doing her hair and she's like, and my sister's, yeah, she's like, did you see that? Yeah. My mom's like, I need to get my hair done. Flicks the light on. She finishes her hair. So those are the only two really odd things that would happen in the house. Once we had a dog that, bless her heart, she was like 13 or 14 and she was a boxer, so that is extremely old for a boxer if you guys know anything about boxers. And she got so bad, she had cancer, she was bone thin, and my dad was actually going to have her put down the next day. So we all said our goodbyes, and the next day she actually passed on her own that night. And the day after, my mom works weird shifts at the hospital at this point, and so it's daylight, and she hears pacing up and down the hall, and it's not a person pacing, it's like a dog. And you know how when you like are half awake or whatever, you're not really there. And they have a waterbed which is like really high. Well, this was like early to mid 90s, so you know they just still had it and why get rid of it if it's still good. But the waterbed was higher than normal because it had the drawers underneath. So she was laying in bed and she heard Candy come in, and she's like, she went to pet her, she's like, hi girl, and then she stopped because, you know, the panting stopped right beside her bed, and that woke her up. She was like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh. It just kind of like whoosh went the color of her face, and she was like, okay, well, Candy's happy. But and then when I did move out, I moved to an apartment, my very first apartment, and I didn't have a lot of furniture. I did make this huge purchase of this L-shaped couch, and I remember it was $1,000. This was like in 1994, I think, but I loved it. It was huge, it was comfortable, it was soft, it was cream with the aqua and the dust pink, you know, the leftover 80s type thing. And my boyfriend at the time would come home from work, and I was laying down because I was in between shifts at the hotel, and I was taking a nap, and I like kind of woke up and I heard his keys in the door. I was like, okay, you know, everybody I'm sure has done this at one point, but they want to like pretend they're sleeping just to see what the other person will do or say. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pretend I'm asleep. And then you hear the keys in the door. Door opens, and you hear the heavy footsteps, and I'm like trying to control myself from not breaking, and just like pretend I'm sleeping, pretend I'm sleeping, pretend I'm sleeping. And I can feel and hear him walk over to me, and he doesn't say anything, he doesn't do anything. So I'm like, okay, don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. Shh, okay, it's fine, cool. And then, you know, I hear him walk away, and I open my eyes and turn just to see him go into the bathroom. And so I was like, well, that's par for the course. He's always got to pee. So I hear, you know, the flushing and everything going on, and I hear the finishing up in the bathroom, and I was like, okay, he's gonna come up to me now. Back to sleep. and I see him, well, hear him rather, come out and go into the bedroom and look up just in case, and just in time to see him go into the closet. And I'm like, this was not going how I wanted it to go in my mind. And we have a walk-in closet. It was pretty huge. So, so I was like, what is he doing in there? And so I go to say, okay, I'm awake, you know, blah, blah, blah. How was your day? And I go in the closet and there's nobody there. Nobody. Now, there is, I mean, he went into the closet. I saw the back end of a figure go into the closet. I heard him in the bathroom doing manly things. I felt the carpet or the floor, you know, kind of bounce as he walked across the floor. And I was like, where did he go? I know he didn't go out the window because, you know, you can't, no, I would have noticed. And come to find out, later on, in the year, I became a leasing agent for that apartment complex. And they were like, you know about your apartment, right? I'm like, what am I having it? Would I get it for free now since I'm working here? And they're like, no. She said, well, quite a ways back, there was a guy who hung himself in your closet. Holy cow. It's like, he's still there. But anyways, so those are my two shorter stories. I know I chit a lot, but yeah. So if you see something out of the corner of your eye, it's not all the time. It could be something. It's not always just, you know, dust or your imagination. But yeah, so sleep well. Look in your closets before you go to bed. Not that you could do anything, but and if you haven't subscribed, if you like my off-the-wall personality and my fascinating stories about my life, go ahead and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell them to subscribe. They don't have to watch every single video. Just, you know, subscribe. I need the numbers. I'm kind of new. So, but thanks, guys. I will see you later.